What is up, everybody? This is Anthony. I am back with the ndkartshop project. If you're searching for us, use hashtag ndkartshop project, or you can just search in Instagram or on Facebook, hashtag ndkartshop. This is the podcast for the DMA Motorsports shop. It contains a little bit of everything is what we're going after. And before we get started, I would like you guys, if you're hearing this and we've been off for a while, kind of stopped doing the vlog, kind of walked away from everything, got really busy in the shop and is trying to get everybody, our customer focus is number one, and that was what we focused on. We wanted to get that up and caught back up. And now with that being said, and we're getting a little bit of time here to work on in the weeks leading up to races starting. It's going to get more fast and furious. I'm going to have to be more critical of a schedule to do this, but I do want to make sure I get a chance to update you guys on all the races that we go to. So with that, if you're hearing this and you're enjoying what you hear, and you want to help a small podcast, small kart shop grow and expand and get more, get out there more, please share, follow us. I mean, I'm putting this out there through a third-party hosting service and hoping that it generates enough traction where somebody, you guys will be able to share it, and maybe we get a little bit of a ranking out of the deal. It'd be nice. But in the long run, I know I'm going to have to get some more interesting people on here than just me talking into my phone, and we're going to have to get better sound quality, get better microphones, but that's all coming. I mean, right now, everything from the vlog to the podcast to all my posts, everything is through my phone, and as of right now, we just don't have the extra marketing funds like some of the other companies do to have somebody sit and operate our Twitter feed, sit and operate Instagram, and go out and we have a flip cam that we use, a little Canon flip cam that we're using for some of the vlog updates, some of the more detailed how-to videos. We have some of that stuff, but we don't. 90% of the work all comes off of the phone, and that's what I have on me. That's the quickest thing for me to tag, to post off of, to use. So that's what I am doing. So with that, I will get into it. Like I say, it's your first time listening to us, which for 90% of our following it is, because we are very new to this game and are still learning podcasts. The road noise you're hearing in the background is, yes, road noise. I do this podcast as I'm driving to or from work, to or from the shop, anytime I have a free 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever you have, and something comes to mind that I want to talk about, that's when I get on here and I actually record. The vlog is the same way. It's very hard for me to operate tools working on go-karts plus try and do a vlog update. So you'll recognize that there's a lot of background noise, and for right now, I'll edit out as best I can with some sound dampening software on my phone, but that's about the best I can do. I'm hoping the information you're hearing is coming through loud and clear though, and that's the key part. So we'll get into the meat and potatoes of this. Today I want to touch on preparedness. It's something that is a pet peeve of mine, but at the same time seems to be the one thing that not only I struggle on a whole with, but also I watch a lot of other kart teams struggle with, especially local ones that are trying to kind of reach out, scratch out, and do more touring stuff or travel to other tracks other than just their home track. So going forward, preparedness. This coming weekend, May 19th, is the Dakota Kart Tour race number 1 in Aberdeen, South Dakota. There's 2 shows. starting at 4 o'clock is when the green flag drops. 3 p.m. is cutoff. So that means anybody who's prepping tires, which is a Maxxis tire event, you should have had tires ordered and rolled over a month ago, at the very latest a week ago. And I say that with the very, very strong intent that it takes a little bit of time for that chemical to get through that tire. If you have your tires and you've got what you want picked out to run, you need to be wiping pretty regularly right now. I've always advised the 3 wipe rule, especially with the Southern Comfort Purple. It seems like 3 wipes, and that's what gets it to really seat in and get in the tire nice and deep over the course of a week. If you need more information on that, I do have printouts and sheets available for how I recommend to do the external wiping sequence. Not very difficult. It's not 10 different chemicals. There's 4 to choose from, and your primary use is 2 of them. And so like this weekend coming into Aberdeen, the track is still pretty green. They have practice day and 1 race on it. It's still going to be pretty green though. There's not going to be a lot of rubber or prep laid in there, because this is the first year that they're allowing prep at the track also for their weekly events. We always have allowed prep for the Dakota Kart Tour, but this year for Aberdeen is the first year they're allowing prep. And some of you guys have called and asked questions about it. Others are probably waiting. If not, please, if you have questions about prepping, want some how-to tips, check us out on our YouTube page, check out our Facebook page, message us, call us, contact us somehow, so we can get you information so you're prepared for this. But those of you guys that are on the Southern Comfort program, you should be rubbing your tires with purple all this week. Looks like it's going to be a pretty decent weekend, so I'd stick with purple for now. If come Thursday it's looking like it's going to be a cloudy, overcast day, I might switch to blue if you have it. If not, just stay on the purple. And then race day, obviously we're going to use Bite in a Can. That stuff has been phenomenal everywhere it's been. Sandy, anything, it's been working great. So we're going to use Bite in a Can on race day, unless we have just an insanely dreary cold day for some reason. Then we might switch that up a little bit. But so that's your tire deal. Everything, you should be working tires daily this week until Thursday. Thursday is going to be your last day you're going to want to work them, and then let them set for Friday. That way they can cure in real good. The other thing you want to check over is make sure your chains are in decent condition. They're not stretched, they're not out flexed. Seems to be kind of a easy oversight. The chain still rolls around the gear. We're good. It's not broke. No, chains wear out. Long story short, I personally swap out a chain probably every 2 to 3 races. Usually it's for peace of mind more than anything. I'd never ever recommend running a master link, especially in a racing situation, just because of the high torque, high pull on that. If that clip would break, or if it catch on your chain guard and break, you could be leading it and throw a chain and you're done. So definitely check your chains. Make sure if you're running a master link, swing by and talk to us. I can press the chain apart and put it back together for you trackside. That way you have a continuous link chain. You don't have that master link in there to cause you issues, potentially break. We can set you up trackside, or find somebody local. If you don't have the tool yourself, but you know somebody that does, just ask them to come over with it. It's a pocket-sized tool. Press it apart, put it back together, so you have all continuous links. It's not gonna affect it any if you pull that one link out of there. Another thing to check over is make sure you have all free spinning bearings in there. I mean, a lot of guys have swapped them out over the winter time here, which is a good thing. But you're gonna want to make sure that your bearings haven't. If you've been sitting for a couple of weeks, you haven't allowed them to get moisture in there, and they froze up or rusted up or whatever. You're gonna want to make sure those are spinning free. Just this little piddly things, stuff that, you know, they're kind of the common pillars of stuff you should be looking over week to week anyways. Heim ends, tie rod ends, make sure all that stuff is free and floating like it should be. I know when I was going through the personal cart, our Platinum TG3, I found a couple of Heim ends that were just a little stiff that I got to work with a little bit to get them to free back up. You're going to want all that to move freely. It's something that you're not going to want to fight. Double check all your front end components. Make sure you have your caster blocks are all tight, pins in them, weights. Make sure all your weights are painted white. Your number is on there. Number, and if you can fit your last name somewhere on there, great. If not, you know, painted white and a cart number, and then double nutted at minimum. Every piece of weight on your cart has to be double nutted, and please use at least a 5/16 bolt with a fender washer on the seat. That way we know it's not going to pull through. If you need to run some padding in there, that's fine to cover it up so it doesn't dig in, especially if it's on the right side or in the back, because I know how much that hurts. I've had to deal with that experience. We've used everything from carriage bolts to elevator bolts to everything and anything in between, trying to eliminate that rubbing point or that hurt point. And it's tough to do, but I know the Max's Midwest Tour, they were requiring a 3/8 bolt. We are going to follow the NK rule, which they released was a 5/16 minimum, double nutted. And if you want to just add that extra little piece of security, stick a pin through the end of it. That's going to make sure that bolt's not going to come free. If the double nutting for some reason does decide it wants to back loose, it's going to catch on that pin and it shouldn't come all the way off. And it's something to look at every time you come off the track. Just make sure all your weights are secure. We don't want to have lead coming free and going bouncing down the track and flying, you know, hitting somebody, or getting lodged in the track and somebody running over it and tearing a tire up or flipping it up and hitting the person behind them yet. Just think safety, guys. Think ahead. Make sure everything's bolted up. Take some time to look over your carts. I know a lot of us are working. I mean, I'm one of them. We work 40 hours a week, and the cart shop and the cart is usually the last 4 or 5 hours of our day, if we even have that much left over, before we got to go home, go to bed, so we can get up and do it all over again. But make sure, if you're going to plan on racing this weekend, make sure you take some time and look over your carts. Make sure you look over everything, you know, double nutted, pinned, all the steering components pinned. Just do a general safety overlook. It'll help you in the long run. Another thing to kind of check over is make sure you have good oiled air filters. It's a common thing that I seem to find when I'm cleaning up other go-karts or checking through go-karts of they're not running right or something's just not correct. First thing I usually do is take that air filter off, and I'll look at that air filter, and if that air filter isn't oiled or if it's clogged up, plugged and dirty, if we're at the track, I'm just going to tell you, you're going to need to buy a new one. If it's after the races, I'm going to hand it back to you and say, go wash this. If you have an extra one, put a new one on if you need to get out for a feature. But that's 90% of the problem, is a plugged up or unoiled air filter. And with it being unoiled, you're going to end up dusting the motor out anyways and filling it full of dirt. And that's not good for the motor, it's not good for the carburetor, and it's definitely not going to help it run any better. So make sure you're checking over that stuff, that's kind of it's a real light list. We do have some videos on YouTube going over how we clean our air filters, some tire work and stuff like that. I should do some updating on that. I'll make a note of that, make sure I do that. As we are working through our own cart. We won't have a cart. We don't have a driver for this weekend, but we will be planning on running in Brookings next weekend. So going forward, we'll be putting up updates as far as how our events are going. Dakota Kart Tour will have some events posted. So make sure you're following the pages, DMA Motorsports, Dakota Kart Tour, and also follow Rapid Body Works, because we will have some updates and posts up there for bodies and stuff like that, and how customers are doing with our bodies. We're definitely kicking out a lot of them. We have a lot of them on the shelf ready to go out, so if anybody is searching for bodies, can't seem to get bodies, we have some on the shelf. Get a hold of us and we'll be happy to get you some sent out so you can get your customers taken care of, especially if you're a kart shop trying to take care of customers. That's the number one thing. It's what keeps us alive, and by keeping the kart shops alive, it's going to keep the local tracks alive, because that keeps parts in the hands of the customers, and it's just a big circle. And we're proud to be an integral part of the fiberglass side of it, and we're going to keep working on getting more and more product out there. With our new supplier, we're getting excellent results, so everything is coming out really well. We haven't had any complaints so far since switching to our new supplier for materials, and the bodies are coming out immaculate. So with that's kind of my Rapid Body Works ad plug. DMA Motorsports, as always, is your kart shop. It's North Dakota's kart shop. We're happy to do what we do, and we can't wait for this weekend to get here for the Dakota Kart Tour, so we can get back out there, see everybody again. Saw quite a few of you in Fargo last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, I should say, over the 5th and 6th of May. And now this coming weekend here, you'll see quite a few of you again for the Dakota Kart Tour down in Aberdeen, May 19th. Like I say, cutoff is 3 o'clock. I think gates open at noon. So be there, be ready. And like I say, be ready to have some fun. We're ready to get this karting season started. We'll have the parts trailer there for anything and everything. We've got a lot of tires to deliver that day. And if any of you guys want to look at getting on the Southern Comfort program that we sell, feel free to stop by that day. I'll walk you through it, kind of explain everything to you, and hopefully you'll be able to see some of the results live and in person. So with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Happy Wednesday. It is hump day, and we're gonna soldier through this day and get one day closer to the weekend, and hopefully keep giving you guys some content, giving you guys some information. And I apologize for being off the air for so long, but we're back, and I'm very excited to keep doing this and get doing this again. And hopefully one day you won't have to hear road noise in the background for the entire podcast. So with that, have a great day, have a great week, and we'll talk to you guys all this weekend.